Ojikalu will take the floor and Senator Adam Alero.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, distinguished colleagues. My name is Asuko Ekpeyon, Senator representing Cross River South, and the co-sponsor of this all-important motion, sponsored by myself, Senator Osita Ongu, and Senator Mpigi Barinada. Mr. President, on the 20th of November this year, I read a motion on the floor of this hallowed chamber calling on the review and the investigation to the slow pace of work on the Odukpani-Itu Federal Highway. Flowing from that directly, the resolutions passed by this Senate was that the Senate Committee on Works invites the three contractors, Messrs. Sematech, Messrs. Julius Berger, and Messrs. CCECC, Nigeria Limited, to a hearing. That hearing held the following week and was presided by the #1 presiding officer of the National Assembly himself, the Senate President. In that engagement and at that hearing, out of the three contractors, only one contractor was present, Messrs. Sematech, Nigeria Limited. The presiding officer, the president of this Senate, directed at that meeting that another hearing be held and that the other two contractors must be present, including the Minister for Works. Senior members of the Committee of Works were at that meeting. Members such as Senator Ningi, Senator Alero, all present. The next invitations were duly sent, and at the second meeting, Messrs. CCECC were there, Messrs. Sematech was there, the minister himself was there, but Julius Berger were once again absent. At that second hearing, we gave another break and did a third invitation, asking for Julius Berger to make themselves available. Distinguished colleagues, it is very sad to note and to state that Julius Berger has refused to attend these investigative hearings. Julius Berger, they bidded for a job, they were awarded a job, they were paid taxpayers' money, they showed up on site briefly, and they left the site. For whatever reason they may have done that, they have to come and tell the Nigerian people. Julius Berger, even though they may have their origins outside this country, can never try what they are doing in Nigeria, in Germany, or wherever in Europe they originate from. It behoves on this Senate that we establish and utilize the powers and the constitutional powers that are given to us to invite the gentleman, the managing director of Julius Berger, to appear before us so that we can look into this matter and give it the necessary conclusion. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you, distinguished colleagues.
Senator Oji Uzokalu.
My attention, that is your job, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity you have given to me. I was there at Soko in the meeting, and Julius Berger refused to come. They have been doing it in the 9th Senate. Most people summon Julius Berger, they refuse to come. And I urge this Senate to punish them. They cannot be doing this. If they're a construction company, they must listen to the parliament. It's not only Julius Berger. Even some of our ministers are not answerable to the committees. And they will insult our chairman. And they will insult people working in the Senate. You will invite a minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Some of them will not listen to the chairman of your committee, Mr. President. And enough is enough. We should query these ministers and ask Mr. President to drop them. How can a chairman of a committee be looking for a minister for 2, 3 days, 4 days, they will not answer phone? So they are doing the same thing Julius Berger is doing. We are protected under Section 28, 88, and 89 of the Constitution as amended, 1999 Constitution. We cannot be taking this. This is a parliament. Unless they want us to be a study area, we become a study area. We are lawmakers, and they should respect this place. It's not only Julius Berger, it's also your ministers and DGs. Many chairmen of parastatal, including some of the federal government parastatal. The chairman have been telling me, I will go for a committee meeting, I expect to see a minister, the minister will not come. And I'm not the chairman, I can't do anything. It's a hard time that any minister, the the parliament must put a performance record for all the ministers. And we must report to the commander-in-chief. Because we are not here for jokes, Mr. President. Please, I want to thank my colleague, Ostangu, for bringing this motion. Because it is annoying that you will send us to do something and we'll be looking for a minister. I called one minister throughout yesterday because I had a meeting and message from my committee. That minister have not answered you now. Just now I'm talking, I saw his missed call for 24 hours. Is that right? That is not good, Mr. President. We have to use our powers. Thank you, Mr. President, for giving me this opportunity to voice how I feel this morning. I feel like fighting, but I can't fight. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
But somehow, my views are totally and fundamentally different. Your Excellency, I'm happy you are now seated when I have this opportunity to speak. I associate myself 100% with some of the sentiments expressed by distinguished Senator Dixon. That these chambers is not a place you bring contractors to. Because by doing that, we give them an undeserved respect. But my first question, why I say I'm happy you are the one on seat. I was a governor in Edo State, the way we have a federal government at the federal level. When I issued or I approved the recommendation of a tenders board or procurement process, and a contract is awarded, and I confirm from the Ministry of Finance that money has been paid, I go around to check if the money paid, if the job being done is up to the value of the money that has been paid. And should I find that the contractor is no longer working, even when we have paid, it is not the House of Assembly that helps me to bring an irresponsible contractor to justice. The first thing that we do, following the laws of procurement, because there's always a contract. In that contract, there are usually clear provisions as to what should be done when money has been paid and the contractor abandons site, or if the contractor is at site, is working at such a low pace of work that the job might not be completed within the time frame provided for in the contract agreement. But my people have a saying that when an elderly man has shared akara with a small child, he loses respect in the eyes of the child. That we are discussing a contractor here who appear to be more powerful than the Ministry of Works that awarded this contract. I think these two people who are arresting the president, they are part of those who have spoken. Asuko, we will issue warrant of arrest for lawyer, SAN.
I'm with you.
What do we do when a senator left his seat while a distinguished senator is on his feet? In order to confuse and try to persuade the Senate president, and you are diverting his attention. It is my privilege to be heard clearly without disturbing the president. Yes, you are right. And as you go, I don't have to be a boxer to be able to keep you under control. So, sir, Mr. President, I am sure in your 8 years as governor, you have had cause to deal with contractors who collected money and thought it was a Christmas gift. Please, do I have the permission of the House? Osita, please. So, sir, my first question, who is complaining? Is it the committee that awarded the contract? Is the minister complaining? If the minister is not complaining, or is pretending to complain, should we not make exactly the same anger on the minister as well as his agent, the contractor? When a man who gives you a job can no longer call you to order, there are questions to be asked, and there are hard answers that must be provided. The man who gives contract cannot be helpless unless he compromises his powers. So the anger of my brother, distinguished Senator Orji, should be directed at the Federal Ministry of Works. And like somebody said, even petty contractors collect money and walk away, and there are no consequences. And I want to ask for those of us who have had the privilege to give jobs, even in our personal capacity, when you pay your contractor with evidence and you have agreement that says once you pay, a job is done. If the contractor doesn't do it, why are you not invoking those sections, not only to terminate, but to use law enforcement? Because this is not a civil matter, it's a contractual obligation that can have a criminal implication. And then get the security information agencies to recover the portion of the money that has been paid and for which no job has been done. For the committee to now be the one chasing a contractor and the federal ministry seems to be indifferent, suggests that we are directing our anger not to the source of the problem, but to the consequences arising from official neglect by those who are empowered to enforce contract agreement. I therefore submit, sir, with profound respect, that the Honorable Minister of Works is as implicated as any other person. Because in the first instance, he is the one representing the executive in awarding this contract. He has a story to tell as to why his contractor has become more powerful than him. Until we do that, I think we are being misled into chasing a contractor. Who is this contractor that is so powerful? More than the federal government, more than EFCC, more than all the agencies that are put in place to deal with people who are involved in criminal embezzlement of public funds. So I submit, sir, that everything we have said of Julius Berger, we should say even more to the Ministry of Works that awarded the contract. There is no evidence they have the power to revoke the contract, and they have the power under the law to get that part of the payment for which they have not worked, to recover that money to public treasury and award the contract to another contractor under clear terms of contract execution.
Thank you.
So let us not shy away from the root cause of the problem. May we not engage anyone that is beyond our capacity to bring under control. Don't hire who you cannot fire.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.